Hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today we're going to take a look at Quantum Midi Sequencer. Now I could say Quantum Ultra Mega Super Duper all-encompassing everything MIDI sequencer. So look, this is a 4-sequence project. Here it says page, just above this one here it says page, you hit page and you'll go to my next sequencer that I have set up. Okay, so that's just an important thing. Another important thing to know is that Quantum makes no sound on its own. It is a MIDI sequencer, so it triggers other apps. So to demonstrate what it can do, well, what we're going to do is we're going to just have a quick listen to what this is doing now, and then we're going to set up the entire project, or a project very similar from scratch, just to show you how easy it is. Okay, because it all looks very confusing sometimes, and there's a lot going on the screen, but that's because there's a lot of control. So I'm just going to go to AUM here where I have various things set up. Okay, so you can see that I have a Phosphor, 3 Phosphors from audio damage, 3 Phosphor Synth set up in channels 1, 2 and 3, and also a Korg mono poly, and Quantum is running. Now this doesn't matter, I've only put this here just so I can just jump back. It's doing nothing. I'll just put it there so I can jump backwards and forwards to it. So Quantum is now controlling these 3. It's controlling the 3 Phosphors on the first 3 sequences, and then the Korg mono poly on the 4th. So I'm just gonna play this thing a little bit just to show you the kind of thing you can do with Quantum. So you see what happens here. Let me just see if I can just see it a bit better. Okay, so sequence 1, you can know is controlling Phosphor. So we can play each sequence independently. Okay, and with each sequence, we can set how the sequence plays. So let's, for instance, this is playing in reverse. You see where it says REV here. Let's press play. Let's just double tap that. And we have various ways to play that loop. So let's go to random. And that'll just play it in random fashion. If you double tap it, and let's just play it forward. And you can see here it says E, E4, A1. They're obviously all notes, and because I'm in note mode at the moment, you see here next to velocity says note. There's a little note. I can change each note independently, and because my scale is set to A minor pentatonic, it's all going to fit in because I've set my scale to A minor pentatonic for every single rack, which I'll also show you how to do. But we'll do that from scratch because it's going to make more sense. Okay, so just let's stop there. And when, oh, this is your global area here. That's where you play it all from at the same time, sort of thing. And AUM I've got set up so I can mix. So what we're going to do is completely close this. We'll close iMono Poly, and we shall actually clear our session here. And we'll just start a new session. Okay, so first of all, I shall probably best if I open Quantum, and it's new. And I'm just go new rack, and it will load in just one rack. Okay, so we don't need to worry about anything else just yet. And then for this, we won't do 4, we'll do 3. It's quicker. I will put a 4th in, and I'll put Quantum in there as well. So Quantum is not an audio unit, it's an interrupt audio, but you don't really need it in here. It's just a lot easier to work your way around here. Let's find it. Where is it? There it is. So I can just jump backwards and forwards. Unfortunately, it doesn't bring up an AUM thing to jump back, but you know what you do. And for this, we'll do the same kind of thing again. This time we'll have a Phosphor in there, and in this one I shall put another Phosphor, I suppose. Let's see. I'm gonna sec. There we go. And in the third one, I shall place a Monopoly, which is an interrupt audio one. So we're not stuck with audio units. Just with audio units, you can use multiple things. So there it is. iMono Poly. We shall place that in there. Okay. So we have 3 instruments and our Quantum. So let's first off go to Quantum and let's create another 2 racks. Okay, so because we need, for the 3 instruments, we need another 2 racks. So where it says sequence here at the bottom, let's just hit new and just add default rack. So we don't need to clone rack 1. Well, you could do now because there's nothing in it, but we can add default sequencer 2 and then new again. Add default sequencer 3. Now we have 3 sequences. Now the first thing we want to do while we're in Quantum is set up 3 independent MIDI channels for each of those sequences. Okay, 1 sec. Thank you. And yeah, so we want to create 3 independent MIDI channels. Now at the moment it's on note, and then you've got velocity, and then you have this I don't know, can't remember what it gating, that is, yes. And then channel, see where it says CH1 channel. So we'll highlight number 1 and select channel, and you'll see that there is a little 1 underneath all of those, so that's fine. Okay, so now we'll highlight 2 and we will select channel, and you'll see that it's 1 again. So let's link these and just move all these up 1 and change that to a 2. You see, we can go all the way up to 16, but we'll change that to a 2. And we want to link it because otherwise we can independently set channels for each sequence. And we'll do the third. We'll highlight 3 and we will select channel, and it's already selected, and you'll see it's on 1. We'll link them together and we'll select 3. Okay, so now we're starting to we've got what we got now. We have our channels set for our MIDI channels of 1, 2 and 3. We have our 3 racks set up. Now we want to do is set the the scale. So it's all going to sound the same. Otherwise, it's all going to sound very strange. So let's go to page 1. There are a couple of ways we can do this. Okay, you can hit this little thing here with this like a stave with a treble clef there, and that'll bring up your key scale. Or you can hit the little star thing here, and this will bring up page 2 of your sequences. Okay, so you've got page 1 and page 2. Now, I'm not going to go through every single aspect of this because it would take all day. Okay, so, this is the basics to get you started. So here you can see it says scale. And at the moment, it's all set to chromatic. All right, so we just double tap on it. I'm going to pick pentatonic minor and I'm going to pick A, and I'm going to put pick. And I'm going to do the same for this one, pentatonic minor, A, and I'm going to pick that one for that, and I'm going to do the same for this one, pentatonic minor, A, pick. You can set it for any scale you like, you can see. So now we have our scale set, we have our MIDI channels set. We can go back to our main page, and we can go to a note for this. Let's go to a note for this one as well, and let's go to note for our, which we're already on, so it's this one we want to go to note for. Now you see at the moment it's all C3, but wherever I move these now, right, they're linked. So let's unlink them, and let's just draw in a few different notes. Actually, let me just show you as well. If you have that highlighted, it lets you actually kind of draw in. Okay, so let's highlight this one. And let's draw in a few notes for this. And on 3, we're going to do something slightly different. I want 3 to play chords. Okay, so let me have a quick swig of coffee. Or I want 3 to play some chords. So you'll see that along the bottom of each of these sequences, let me check this. Yeah, along the bottom of each of these sequences, there's a little green button. If you press that green button, it will mute it. Okay. And just above the green button is a little grey button. And if you press that, it brings you up to the sequence options, basically. So you have massive, absolutely, this is step 1, sequence 3, step 1 options. This is for each single note. So you can see how massively involved. Well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select chord. And I'm going to have this play an A minor chord. Okay, so you can do it automatically. You can have a preset chord there, but I'm just going to highlight the A minor, the notes that I know are A minor. Okay, so and then we can exit, and you will see now that it says chord there. Okay, so that's okay, that's fine. So I just want a chord, so I'm going to mute, 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 mute. And I might leave that on C, that note, but it won't be a chord, it'll be a single note. So I'll mute, mute, mute. And this one here, this C3, I'll probably change. So I'm going to, I've got my note selected. So if I move my slider here, you will see, the one that corresponds to this one here, you will see that my note changes because and I'm going to take this down to A2 and see how that sounds when it starts to play. Okay, so we're not there yet, guys. All right, but you see, the cool thing is that once you have set this up for each thing you do, then you know you can just save it, and this will quick save this session, so I don't have to bother going to name it yet. But if I wanted to go to files here, I could name this. Let me say save as. AUM, this is back number 5, I've been messing with AUM 5, okay, and it'll be there. Now there are 2 sets of files, okay, there is the main rack list filing here, as you can see, and if you press sequence files, there are just individual rack files. Now I haven't saved any of those yet, so I'm just saying your options are there to do that. So let's see. And yeah, we're going to leave that set as it is, and I've just moved that one down, haven't I, to A2. So we've got a chord there, all of it's muted, a C3 will fire there. Now, this probably won't be in time. Okay, we've got that far, and at the moment, that's as far as I want to go. Okay, so I'm going to go back to AUM, and I'm going to set AUM up. Now, first thing to do now is you need to really find a sound for each of these things. So we're going to quickly do this. We're going to hit this little keyboard, and that's the default setting. So let's go with this. Let's have this as kind of a dub sound. No, bass. Nope. On kind of a. That'll do. That'll do for what I want. So we get out of presets. I might want to take the attack down a little bit, but I could probably gate it off the what's it anyway. That's cool. Okay, and this second one here, we need another sound, so let's go down here. This one. No, sorry. I have to select the keyboard I'm working with. Okay. And then for the mono poly, I think we need some sort of paddy or brass sound sort of thing. Let's see, pads or strings. Brass. Yeah, that'll do it. We could have that one. Yeah, we'll do that one. Okay. So, hang on a sec. I'm back. Alright, so now we've got our 3 sounds that we're going to start with, basically. Okay, so again, I'm going to need to go back to AUM. Now we need to set our channels up, and this is pretty straightforward. Just to the left of the mixer instruments here. Yeah, just to the left of the mixer instruments is a little thing here, and you see where it says all notes off at the bottom. Don't worry about that. Just select none here and select channel 1, and then make sure the quantum is highlighted there. And we'll do the same for this one, only this time we'll highlight quantum already, select none, but select 2. Just the quickest way to do it. Okay, okie dokie. And also for the mono poly, actually I need to do it slightly differently, so I need to go into my settings here and choose 2, 3, 4. Okay, so like oh no, sorry, not 4, that was the last one, 3. So that's a done deal now. So we should be able to now go to, let's turn these volumes down a bit because I don't know how loud they're going to be, and I really don't know how this is going to sound. So let's go to quantum and press play. So that's our chord there and our notes there. Nice. Right, let's mix it a bit better. Now, of course, you can, you can set your sounds up however you like, and you can add effects, etc., 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 etc. I'm just going to have a quick cup of coffee. I got cold, guys. Come on. Quite nice here today in Cornwall. Right, here we go. So yeah, you can set this up. Sorry, I keep checking the camera's still recording okay. Right, you can set this up any way you like. You can add effects and stuff. Some of the cool things you can do. Okay, so you've looked at the way you can change. All we need to do is double tap on things like this, like where it says, and we can choose different ways that the sequences will play. So you can get really crazy with how these sequences work. You can also shorten the length of any... You see how I've altered the time in there? I've altered the timing of the sequences. Very cool beans. See what I'm doing now? So you see how you can get really complex. You can keep it really simple. You can just use one. Now, before I go, there are other cool things you can do. So if, for instance, let's go to our MIDI channel and I'll show you. So on this MIDI channel 3 here, I can change the individual MIDI things. So for instance, if I set this to MIDI channel 1, and then I set this to MIDI channel 2, and then I also set this to MIDI channel, or leave that on MIDI channel 3, and we leave the chord on MIDI channel 3, but we'll mute these two. What you'll hear now is... Hang on a second. You can hear the other synth triggering just off this one sequence. So anyway, there you go, guys. I've gone on long enough, and it'll just bore you otherwise, and it gets confusing as well. There are some other good tutorials there from the developer as well. It takes you through every single one of these things. But that's basically how you set it up, get started just to making some jams and stuff. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did like the video, subscribe to the channel, consider becoming a patron. Very, very, very cool beans. And I will see you guys later.